Good morning, room 9. I am here in our classroom and I'm missing all of your beautiful little faces. Today I'm going to read a story for all of you. I'm going to read Clever Tom and the Leprechaun since yesterday was St. Patrick's Day. Clever Tom and the Leprechaun. One fine day on Lady Day in the harvest, Tom Fitzpatrick took a ramble down the lane. Click, clack, he heard through the hedge. So Tom tiptoed closer to take a look. The clacking sound stopped when Tom peeped through the bushes, and in the shadow, what did he see? Why, a big gallon pitcher and a teeny tiny man with a brown leather apron and a three-cornered hat. Up the small man climbed on his wee wooden stool and dipped his little pigeon in the crook. Then he settled down with his full mug beside him to hammer on the heel of a fairy-sized shoe. By the powers, thought Tom, it's a leprechaun. If I catch him and scare him, he'll give me his gold. Since I'm a clever fellow, that should be simple. Before the sun sets, I'll have my fortune made. Tom stared at the leprechaun and tried not to blink. He knew that if he looked away, the old man would escape. Then he crept up quite near and tipped his hat politely, saying, "Good day to you, neighbor. Blessings on your work." "Thank you kindly," said the small one, but he never looked up. He just kept on tapping on the heelpiece of the broom. Tom moved his hand closer while he smiled very sweetly and said, "Today's a holiday. You shouldn't have to work." The leprechaun frowned and answered Tom sharply, "If I do, that's my business and none of yours. Instead of pestering me, young man, you ought to be watching your father's fields. Look, there! The cows have broke into the oats. See, they're knocking the corn all about." Cows? In the cornfield? Tom's head started turning. But he wasn't fooled by the leprechaun's trick. Quickly, he grabbed the sly fellow and cried, "Now you're my prisoner. Tell me, where is your gold?" The leprechaun wiggled and twisted and whined. "I'm just a poor man." But Tom held him fast. "You and I both know you're lying," said Tom, and he made a fierce, frightening face. Finally, the leprechaun quit squirming and said, "Tom Fitzpatrick, you're too clever for me. I see you're after my buried treasure, so I'll have to show you where it's hid." With his eye on the bitty man locked in his fist, Tom followed where the leprechaun led him. He taped over a hill and under some hedges, and through a ditch and across the peat-hot bog. At last, just when Tom feared he'd been hoodwinked, he found something in a great field of weeds. "Dig there," said the leprechaun, pointing to a bush. "Deep under that bullion is where I got my gold." "Thunderation," said Tom. "I need to fetch my spade, but when I'll return, I'll be lost. There are 40 acres of bullions here, and each plant looks just like the other." Still watching the leprechaun, Tom figured out a plan. He tied his bright red garter on the bush. Swear, you old rascal, that you won't take off while I run back to get my spade. That I will promise you, said the little man. Tom grinned, knowing leprechauns always keep their word. Now, since I've shown you where my treasure is, I don't suppose you'll need me anymore. No, said Tom, my fortune's made. You may go, and good luck. Go with you. Then goodbye, Tom Fitzgerald, and said the leprechaun. May you do much good with what you find. Away Tom ran as fast as he could, figuring how he'd spend the gold. Then back he came with his shovel in hand, back to the field of mullions. But when he got there, lo and behold, a gardener just like his was tied to each and every bush as far as he could see. Tom dug under the mullion where he thought he'd tied his gardener, but nothing was buried under that bush, and so he dug under another. He dug to the east, and he dug to the west, and still he found no treasure. The harvest moon rose, and he dug to the north, and it set as he dug to the south, dug southward. When the sun came up, Tom saw he'd dug 100 holes, and tired Tom Fitzpatrick knew he couldn't find that gold, so he gave up and headed home. From then on, Tom always carried his spade, and he never stopped listening for a tapping in the field. Every chance he'd got, he'd tell how he nearly found the gold, and since I'm a clever fellow, Tom would end his tale. The next time I catch that leprechaun, I'll have made my fortune. The end. Well, before I say goodbye today, I just want to say how many amazing things I have heard from your parents, from emails, and how much I've heard that you guys are doing Raz Kids, reading at home, and just having great behavior. So I've decided that even though we're not in the classroom, from all the good things that I've heard, I think you all have earned a Disney friend. We are getting so close to the end. There's only 3 more in here. Okay, I'm gonna close my eyes. Okay, I have one. Ready? What's Dash's rule? Awesome, no touching him. Well, I can't wait to see all of you guys soon, and I can't wait to hear back from you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye, Room 9.